Hello, good morning dear student. You're most welcome to Dheeraj YouTube lecture. Today I'm going to explain you the different ledger accounts in the topic of dissolution of partnership firm. In the previous lecture part 3 of dissolution of partnership firm, we have just discussed about the journal entries to be passed. And now in the part 4, the lecture 4, we are going to study or learn about the ledger accounts. The different ledger accounts we have to prepare. But now first let's focus on part 3. In part 3, here we have already learned about the different ledger accounts. The realization account, the partner's capital or current account, cash or bank account, and partner's loan if any. So there are only 4 accounts are to be prepared, and out of these 4, only 3 are must. Realization is compulsory, partner's capital or current, and third one the cash or bank. And partner's loan is an optional account. If any loans are given related to partners, then only we have to prepare partner's loan account. Okay, then out of these four, your cash and bank account must be tally. If your cash and bank account gets tally, it means you are 100% correct. So now let's discuss about the ledger accounts once again. So number 1 is the realization account. Number 2, the partner's capital account, or maybe partner's current. It depends upon the problems. Okay, now third one is cash or bank. This is a must. ये compulsory account है, and this account must be tally. And fourth one is partner's loan if any. अगर क्वेश्चन में पार्टनर्स लोन अकाउंट दिया है और एनी लोन्स रिलेटेड टू पार्टनर्स, then only partners loan will be prepared. Okay, otherwise no need. Got it? Now then first one realization, partners capital or current, third one cash or bank, and fourth one partners loan. And now I'm going to prepare the realization, how to prepare realization, and how to prepare current or capital, cash or bank, and partners loan. So let's see the accounts. Now see, the first one is the realization account. The format is very simple, just only the particular amount column, and here is the debit and here is credit. Now these two columns for amounts means the first column is inner column and the second column is the outer column. So on both the sides, debit and credit, there is a inner and outer column for amount. Okay, because inner and outer, if there is the inner and outer column, then we'll get will help to solve out the amounts very clearly, and we'll get the final amount on the outer column. So this is the first one, the realization account. And now the number 2 is partners capital account. So in the partners capital, here I have just taken the 2 partners, A and B. So the format is the simple one. Same thing, the particulars, partner A amount, partners B amount, particulars partner A amount and partners B amount. Left hand side debit and right hand side credit. Okay, now number 3 is the cash or bank account. Here the same particular amount, particulars amount. Here is no need to take the inner and outer because there is only a single amount comes. Okay, and no narration is required in this account. So same thing, debit and credit. And this is a very important account. If this account gets tally, it means you are correct and you are getting 100% marks. That means full marks. Now the fourth one the partner's loan account. So partner's loan account is not compulsory account if any loans related to partners are given on the liability side or the asset side, then only we have to prepare a partner's loan. If given on liabilities, then partner's loan, that means we have taken a loan. If on asset side, that means we have given a loan. But in both the cases, we have to prepare the partner's account. Okay. So this was just only the format of this one, realization format, this one realization format. Then the number 2, the partner's capital account. Number 3, cash or bank account. And number 4, the partner's loan account. Okay. And now after this, I'm going to tell you about how to write and what are the different steps to be taken to solve your problems. Now let's see. Now see what are to be given in the problems of dissolution of partnership firm. So I'm going to write here what are to be given. What are to be given here in the problems. Okay. Means question में आपको क्या क्या दिया होगा. So number one, the old balance sheet including assets and liabilities. Old balance sheet including assets and liabilities. And number two, some adjustments, or we can say some additional information. Okay, some additional information will be given. Now what kind of information we are expecting, that we have already discussed here. I think you don't have any remember. So let's see once more. Number 1, the information about the assets sold out. Information about what? Assets sold out or assets taken by partner. Assets taken by partner. I think you are getting some. Okay. Next one, liabilities paid of, or we can write, or here is liabilities paid by partner, or we can write liabilities taken by partners, and dissolution, or the dissolution expenses, or we can say realization expenses. So these are the 5 things which will be given in your adjustment or additional information. Okay. Now these are the questions and these are the items which will be given. Now, so these are the things which will be given in the question, and now the sum means the how to solve. So here I am going to give some steps. The steps taken here, steps taken to solve the problems. The steps taken to solve the problems. Now, which kind of steps? Now, the steps taken to solve the problem. So, the step number 1, what to do? Under 1, see, first of all, we have to read the old balance sheet properly, including some adjustments. And then after that, number 1, transfer all assets to the realization account debit side. Means all assets transferred to the realization account debit side. Okay, but it should remember that one thing, there is one exception. I write here except means leaving this thing. What thing? Cash or bank account. Cash or bank account not to be shown on the realization account debit side, and profit and loss account if given on asset side. So these things are to not be recorded on the realization account debit side. Now the question is that, sir, why cash or bank account is not to be recorded? Because for cash and bank there is some separate account of cash or bank. So cash or bank account goes to the cash or bank account debit side by writing to balance brought down, and this is the profit and loss. It means this is a loss, and loss taken by the partners, because if profit is shared by the partner, then loss also to be shared by the partners. Got it? So this was the first step. Transfer all assets to the realization account debit side except cash or bank or profit and loss. Cash or bank goes to the cash or bank account debit side as a to balance brought down, and profit and loss means the loss on the asset side, and this goes to the partners account. Okay, this loss to be shared by the partners. Now number 2, here all liabilities transfer to the credit side of realization account, and except what? Here I am going to explain. Except what? Except capital means partners capital, or here is any reserve, any fund, if there is any capital, any reserve or any fund, so that will not be transferred to the realization account. Then what about this? So the capital goes to partners capital account credit side by balance brought down. Okay, by balance brought down, and the reserve and funds to be distributed among the partners in the partners capital account credit side in their profit sharing ratio. Okay, so reserve and funds to be transferred to the partners capital account credit side in their profit sharing ratio, and capital partners capital credit side writing by balance brought down. Got it? So these two are very much clear about that all assets should be transferred to the realization account debit except cash or bank, because cash or bank goes to cash or bank account debit side to balance brought down, and if profit and loss, that means a loss, so that should be shared by the partners. Now all liabilities transfer to the credit side of realization account. Now if you say that, if you have any doubt, sir, which kind of liabilities other than these, so here is like bank loan, okay, creditors, any outstanding expenses, so these are the liabilities other than these that goes to the realization account credit side. Now capital goes to partners capital credit by writing by balance brought down. Any reserve or any fund goes to partners capital credit in their profit sharing ratio, and this profit and loss means the loss goes to the partners capital account debit in their profit sharing ratio. Got it? So this is very easy step, and these are the two steps which is very much compulsory, and this get you 4 marks. Okay, now after this, so now here you can see that first the old balance sheet is totally cleared. Out of old balance sheet we have taken these 2 steps, and now after these 2, now we have to solve some additional information. So additional information means what? Here is asset sold out, asset taken by partner, and liabilities paid off and paid by partner, and resolution realization expenses. So for these entries, we have to learn about first the journal entry, which we have already discussed in our third lecture. In our third lecture of dissolution of partnership firm. So now I am going to show you the third part of a journal entries. Now see the part 3 journal entries. So these are very helpful for the adjustments. Now number 1, the asset sold out. If your asset sold out, so this is very common sense that if any asset goes out, that means sold out, then cash comes in. And in a FYJC standard, there was some rules of golden rules that cash account. Now the part 3 of journal entries, see the first one, the asset sold out. If asset sold out, so this is very common saying that if anything is sold, that means cash comes in. अगर आप कोई भी चीज़ बेचोगे तो पैसा आएगा, and cash is the real account as per FYJC rules in 11th standard golden rules. Okay, so if cash comes in and cash is the real, so the rule of real is debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So comes in means a debit, so cash comes in, and so cash account debit. Okay, and now we have just seen that the realization means what? The realization account is the full of assets and liabilities. Okay, so if assets goes out, then we have to use realization. If liability is paid off, then also we have to use the term realization. Okay, so now if assets sold out, cash comes in, so the cash will be debited, so cash account debit and to realization account. Now if asset taken by partner, see one more important thing, assets taken by partner. So the assets has been taken by the partners, that means the partners taken over the assets, means assets goes out of the business, but there is no cash involvement because partners doesn't pay at that time cash. So there is a no cash transaction because the assets taken by the partner. So instead of writing cash, we have to write the name of partners, but assets goes out, so we have to use the realization term. So partners account debit to realization. So you see here not only partners, if there is a two partner, if A has taken over the goods or the assets, so we have to mention that A's capital account. If B has taken out the goods, so we have to mention here B's capital account. Okay, so these two are important thing and very easy. The assets sold out, cash account debit to realization. If taken by a partner, so instead of writing cash, we have to use the term partners. Okay, now here third one is the liability paid off. If liability is paid off, that means cash goes out and cash is the real account. If comes in, then debit. If goes out, then credit. So here is the cash will be credit. And the other term is realization for asset and liability. I have already discussed. So realization account debit to cash. But if liability is paid by partner, that means there is a no involvement of cash. So instead of writing cash, we have to use the term partner. So the same thing, realization account debit to partners. If paid by A, so write A's capital. If paid by B, so write B's capital. Okay. Now the last one is the realization or dissolution expenses. Here is also, if there is a term expenses, then that means cash goes out. If cash goes out, cash is the real and that will be credited, and the debit will be used for realization. So the entry will be realization account debit to cash. So these 5 entries are very important entries. If you have got these 5 entries very perfectly, that means you will score 100% marks in your board exams of dissolution partnership firm. Okay, so this is very important thing and you have to learn about this at home regularly and also the practically. So this was very much important regarding the dissolution of partnership firm, and the most important in the ledger account. If you have learned all these 5 entries and the steps what we have just already discussed, let's see now the steps, like the transfer all asset to the realization account debit side except the cash or bank and P&L loss, and all liabilities transfer to the credit side of realization account except the capital, reserve and funds. So if you have done all this thing, then you will get 100% marks without any hesitation and score very much well in your board exams. Okay, so I hope you will get clear the fourth part 4 of dissolution of partnership from the ledger accounts. Okay, so ledger accounts and the steps and the what are to be given in the problems and how to solve your solutions. See, after this, so first of all, how to close the accounts, how to close the accounts. Okay, how to close the accounts. So basically we have 4 different accounts, like the realization, partners capital, cash or bank and partners loan. So the step number 1, close the partners loan. Close the partners loan account if any. If there is a partners loan, so first of all we have to close the partners loan account, and balance if any, and balance goes to cash or bank account. Got it? Balance goes to cash or bank account. So this is the first step. What? Close the partners loan account and balance if any that goes to cash or bank account. Now step number 2, close the realization account. Close the realization account and balance if any transfer to the partners capital account or partners current account in their profit sharing ratio. Okay, so this was the second step. Now the third one, close the partners account. Partners means what? Partners capital account or partners current account, and balance if any goes to cash or bank account. And finally at last, cash or bank account does not show any difference. This account must be tally. If this cash or bank gets tallied, that means you are 100% correct, and you answer 100% correct, and you will get full 10 marks. Okay, so now thank you, and please, for more video updates, like, share and subscribe my channel. Dheeraj sir. Thank you.